What's going on? I just filmed this and I realized I didn't record audio, so we're here doing it again. Today I'm looking at the single leg defense of Olivier Aubin Mercier at H2O MMA in Montreal, a gym I'm going to be training at next month. Super pumped to be coming and working with some great professionals there, some great amateurs there. They got a ton of great guys there, coached by Richard Ho. And today I'm looking at the single leg defense of Olivier Aubin Mercier against Arman Tsarukyan, and what Arman Tsarukyan did one time in order to counter this defense. So first, let's just have a look at it. This is essentially what he did time and time again. Okay, so let's go back. Let's have a look. Step number one, somebody gets in on a single leg, grab the wrist. This is what we see time and time again, not just in this fight, but in many fights. He grabs the wrist. And what I noticed about Olivier is he goes underneath. And I think the reason why he's going about it just like this is because Olivier is afraid of Arman taking his left hand and bringing it down to the knee. So he gets this grip underneath. In addition to that, I believe it's Arman's right hand that's over top of Arman's left hand, which means that Olivier can't actually grab the hand itself. He can't really get on top that well. So he grabs this palm up grip once he goes and he grabs that. Okay, then when he's ready, he frames on the face with his left hand like so, and he starts twisting away. If it fails once, he goes back and he repeats and he does the exact same motion. So just beautifully done. Now let's look at what Arman does to counter it. So once Arman gets in on the single leg, look at how high he lifts that knee. Then once Olivier goes to turn, in order to deal with the trip, Arman was able to follow him right to the fence. And Arman, he stayed the rest of this round in this position. So that's 2.5 minutes of good control time for Arman, which definitely won him the round. Okay, let's have a look at it again. And on the single leg, lifts the knee up super high. Let's look at this a little bit slower. You see how high this knee is? Now Arman's able to take his right leg, step it behind, and start tripping Olivier, following whenever he's ready. Once two hands go on the mat from Olivier, that's the cue. Arman switches to the body, and he starts riding. So that was a great adaptation. He was only able to pull it off the one time in the fight, though, as we move forward. Olivier is here with Arman. Sorry, that's the wrong clip. This is the correct one. Olivier is here with Arman. Arman gets in on the single leg. Again, same thing. Goes straight to the wrist. He goes wrist. He goes overhook. And then he starts to free up that knee. Now, there's something in particular that I want to note about when he does it this time. Originally, once Arman gets in on the single leg, they're kind of square with one another. You see how Arman's hips are facing Olivier's and Olivier's are facing just out on an angle a little bit? Well, Olivier wants to get off to the side a lot. See how he hops and he hops and he hops and he gets to the side? It almost looks like he's in a position where he could go for a scissor takedown. And I don't know how essential that is for this, but it's something that I'm noting because he's getting his leg far away from Arman. He's framing on that wrist. He's controlling that wrist. He has the overhook. He gets in this position, and then he goes and he turns away. Framing. Now, gets away completely that time. Didn't have to do a redo. A little bit later on, Arman is in on the single leg. Olivier goes up, and he can't get away at first. He can't get away. So what does he do? He turns towards, and then he yanks away again. And he was able to get it the second time. We're here. Control the wrist. Control the wrist. Now, this time, Olivier took a different approach at defending the single leg, which also worked. But it didn't give him a clear escape like the previous attempts. The previous attempts gave him a clear escape. And I apologize that this is in slow motion. I accidentally screen recorded it in slow motion. But when we were here, Olivier has the wrist grip, and then the other hand is in on the tricep. And this right here was quite effective for keeping his balance because he was able to pull his leg back to the mat. Let's just highlight that. Arman has the single leg up. Through this grip, Olivier safely puts it back to the mat. Arman never picks it back up again. He doesn't pick it back up. He can't switch to the double leg because of the control of the wrist. You gotta have control of both your arms to go for a double leg. If they have wrist control, you're not getting a double. and he wasn't able to keep that single leg up. So Arman releases with the left hand, as you can see right here, which just gives Olivier the underhook, and he takes it. And then immediately after this, Olivier got off of the fence, which I did not record. And one last final clip. Arman is in on the shot. He goes double and he switches single. Olivier does the same thing. Even once he gets jammed up against the fence, he just circles off from the fence. He did have to turn. He did have to take two for this one. He wasn't getting away at first, so he turned towards him for a moment right here. He's turned towards him just a tad, not even all the way. And then he's able to kick that leg out. So really, I just think this is fantastic single leg defense from Aubin Mercier. The main thing that we learned is you get that grip on the wrist. That's the first thing that he does. He goes and he controls the wrist. And he frequently gets the overhook. Then he frames on the face. Just limp leg away. And if it fails, turn back to him and try again. And he does a full 360 once he get out of it as well. It's very simple escape, stupid simple. And he pulls it off many times against Arman Tsarukyan, which is a high-level wrestler. Arman gave Islam Makhachev one of his hardest fights of his entire career, other than against Alex Volkanovski, of course. But nevertheless, it was still just beautiful single-leg defense from Olivier Aubin Mercier. And to pull it off against a wrestler like this is just extremely, extremely impressive. So I got to hand it to him. I can't wait to get to the gym with Olivier and try my hand at raising that leg up high. See, I think Olivier is a fair bit taller than me. He's also heavier than me, and I'm an amateur, right? And I don't even have a wrestling background. I'm nothing great. I'm just here trying to learn and trying to get this figured out. So if you're seeing anything that I'm missing or anything I'm getting completely wrong or whatever it may be, let me know, because I'm not here to put myself on a pedestal and act like I'm better than anybody. Like these guys, I look up to these guys. That's why I'm watching footage of them right now, and they're not watching footage of me. So I am super pumped to get to train with Olivier and see what I can learn from him. But he just had a fantastic display of single leg defense in this fight against a guy who's got an absolutely killer single leg. So shout out to both of these two fighters. Anyway, that's all I have to say about this one. If you enjoyed this video, let me know. Leave a like, leave a comment. Let me know what you thought, if I got it right, if I got it wrong, or whatever it may be. And until next time, peace.